G'day you cheeky dogs. Today we're doing a deep dive into the Bluey episode Mount Mumandad. We are going to be going through all of the Easter eggs, hidden details, and also talking about sort of like the lessons and themes in this and why a lot of people just didn't really like this episode as well. But of course, if you like Bluey as much as we do here, don't forget to hit that like button down below, that subscribe button, and that bell for notifications as well, so you don't miss out on any other Bluey themed videos. Now, with that being said, let's just get into Mount Mumandad.
What a day!
Now, the first thing I want to talk about, of course, is Crazy World. And it seems like a lot of people would have rather seen an episode at Crazy World rather than post Crazy World, and maybe in the future we might see that. But the creation of it is thanks to the lead art director Costa Kassab, who, yes, did base this on a real life location in Australia. So Crazy World is actually meant to be kind of like Dream World, which is one of our major theme parks that's just outside of Brisbane. And Costa even put this up on his Twitter account as well, saying like, no, it's not technically D World, even though a lot of the time obviously they do bring a lot of inspiration. And one of the really cool things is if you look at the park maps like next to each other, you can see some similarities, of course, like with the cars and like the merry-go-round. But in particular is the shout out to the Wiggles, because the pirate ship that we see on Crazy World and the little waterfall is definitely an homage to Wiggle Land at Dream World, where they also have the pirate ship and the waterfall as well. And not surprisingly, seeing as they're both sort of like ABC kind of content, it's a nice little shout out to the Wiggles.
And 5 years till the next trip to Crazy World.
I do also like the joke that the name of it is Crazy World because, of course, in my head, going to any theme park with your kids is definitely a crazy, crazy time. So that was a cute little, like, joke for parents.
Cut us down, kids.
Yeah! Chop, chop, chop!
Timber!
I honestly just did kind of like this episode. I thought there were some really beautiful moments in it, especially the one with Bingo and Bluey at the very end when they're like in the tent and they just are cuddling next to each other. Like Bluey sincerely says sorry to Bingo without like any pressure from her parents to say sorry.
I'm sorry I cheated, Bingo. That's okay.
And it's one of those situations where she's able to recognize that she did something wrong without Bingo leaving the actual game and getting upset.
Not fair, Bluey. You cheated. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did.
Bingo's not really upset at Bluey, like, getting annoyed at her the whole time. She's just playing her own game. So it's kind of nice to see that, like, in a reflection of Bluey as an older child, realizing that, yeah, she wasn't exactly the nicest to her sister, but they could reconcile that by themselves without any, like, adult intervention into it. Of course, now I want to go through our traditional Easter eggs. So we do actually have a tennis ball and a pineapple in this one. Maybe a long dog. I'm curious as to what you cheeky dogs think, though. So we see the tennis ball at the very entrance. It's one that is always there. The pineapple is this time the pineapple lamp, which is right next to Bandit on the couch. And then as for the long dog, it is possible that it kind of counts as the one in the snap cards. So as they're playing London Snap, you can see the statue is like a little dog. Some people online think that this is the long dog, even though it doesn't traditionally obviously look like our long dog. So I'm curious, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that the statue is a long dog?
Black cab, Trafalgar, furry hat guy, Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace.
Ow!
But speaking of those snap cards though, it is a really cute, again, shout out to the idea of London because you know that is where Chili and Bandit first met, thanks to the episode The Show. But also as an extra fun fact as well, the creator Joe Brum, that's where him and his wife used to live as well, was in London before they moved back to Australia. So it's one of those like double layered kind of Easter eggs with it. Some other just like tiny little details that I did really love was that first intro scene where we see like very tiny little versions of them going up the stairs into the house, but the car is just completely missing. So I'm always curious, like when they show that shot, where is the garage and the car gone? We do of course see a few things that never appear ever again. The first of course being the actual picture of the mountains in the background. Usually of course it's the picture of the beach with the tennis ball, but for this one and only episode it changes to a mountain, and obviously it does that for a reason because it creates like that beautiful atmosphere. It makes it look like the girls really did climb a mountain at the very end. I understand why they did it, but it is always a funny nod because everyone always talks about it on Reddit as like, where is this room, or what happened to that painting?
Ooh, this is gonna be a bit tricky.
Ah!
Oh, no! I'm slipping!
The other thing as well that we only ever see for the first time ever is actually Bandit and Chili's closet, where the ties are and the underwear, which we have no idea where they actually wear that because we never see them really wearing underwear either. It is like a whole conundrum, the whole thing about clothes, but I did do a theory video about it. I'll link it up here and I'll make sure it's in my linked for theory videos in the description box down below too if you want to check it out. Now, as for like the lesson of this episode, it's pretty obvious. It is an absolute parallel for the traditional children's tale of the turtle and the hare.
I'm a cheeky rabbit sometimes. I think I'm more like the slow tortoise.
The whole idea is that you have to sometimes go slow in order to go fast.
Hey, you didn't wait for me. You were taking ages. I was packing important mountain stuff.
In this case, obviously, Bingo is technically the turtle in this, and Bluey is the hare. Bluey just like racing ahead, trying to do everything as fast as she possibly can. Whereas Bingo, of course, is taking more time and more care, thinking about things, going slowly, and of course, that ends up letting her be able to get to the top. And Bluey needs her help in order to get to the top as well.
Yes, I'm going the right way. Oh, Bingo. Click, bottom, click, bottom. Bingo, what are you doing? We're racing.
So it is a little bit like on the nose and a very obvious kind of plot device and storyline for Bluey. And it seems to be that that's one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't like this episode, which was kind of interesting because I never really didn't like this one, especially in comparison to Blue Mountains. Even the very first ever Bluey podcast, Gotta Be Done, Mary and Kate also sort of had this to say about it as well.
Let's just do a rubbish one. Let's do Mount Mumandad. But yeah, it's down my pile, definitely. It would be below the top 40 for me. You know what? I don't like the message. I feel like this is like a very overt, preachy kind of message. And like, you know, as much as Chili is everything in Voice of the Mountain, yeah, I'm not buying what she's selling in this one.
But Cheeky Dogs, let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of like the lesson and theme of this episode? I do, of course, though, want to talk about some of the other cool stuff like the animation for this, which of course is one of those very like childlike animation perspectives because everything seems bigger than what it is because of course we're seeing this through Bluey and Bingo's perspective where, yeah, to them as small kids, their parents seem huge, the couch seems huge. And so we see that perspective as them like trying to climb up their parents like they're mountains and Bingo somehow being the exact same size as like Chili's snout for some reason.
Ooh, this is a nice view.
I did though kind of like seeing like the square angles of their bodies as well. I thought it was a really cool animation choice.
Oh, it's steep here. Yee, so slippery.
The music as well, of course, I think is one of like the key parts of this episode that makes you really feel like they are actually climbing a mountain. And it's everything from like the sort of polka style music, which makes you feel like you're in the Swiss Alps.
Oh, it's steep here. Yee.
But then also anytime Bluey or Bingo fall down, the music goes down. And anytime they go up, the music also goes up as well.
Ah!
Oh, no! I'm slipping! Hold on!
So again, it makes you really feel like you are climbing up and down a mountain.
You do not climb Mount Mumandad by trying to race ahead on your own or by competing with your comrades.
Chili's voiceover, of course, at the end, I thought was just like kind of like a cute nod. Some people did think that like maybe it was a bit too much, but I think the fact that we have Chili doing this a few other times as well throughout like the seasons, it's like one of her tropes as a character. And the little section that she does say is actually a bit of a reference to the first ever, well, two people who actually climbed to the top of Mount Everest. So it was Tenzing apparently who said something very similar to what Chili said.
You do it slowly and carefully by unselfish teamwork.
So overall for me, as a retelling of The Turtle and the Hare, I'd probably give this episode 3 out of 5 long dogs, I guess. Because, yeah, again, it's not, like, super in-detailed. It is a very, like, Bluey episode. It's just one of those nice, easy, basic ones that's just there. And it does tell a good theme and lesson, I think, overall. But, Cheeky Dogs, let me know in that comment section down below how many long dogs out of 5 you would give this episode. And if you would like to see an episode about Crazy World, and if you would want Muffin to be there as well. While you're down there, though, as well, don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell for notifications so you know whenever I release any other Bluey-themed videos. But until then, I have picked you Cheeky Dogs out a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I'll see you all in another video. Mwah! Bye!